What's up, guys? This is Chris Surratt bringing you another edition of the Car Concierge Show, the show that helps with the buying, selling, maintaining, and repairing of your vehicles. On today's show, we're going to talk about a little good news where some automakers are talking about bringing some plants back to the U.S. Always a fantastic thing. We're also going to talk about Stellantis as they start to have employees come back into the workplace and give up that at-home work, as it were. And last but not least, we're going to check out a situation where a dealer, Rick Hendrickson, purchased a Corvette for $3.7 million. Crazy. All right, let's jump straight into it. So, of course, this is going to be a couple of readers, so bear with me. All right, so first story we're going to talk about Audi and Porsche as they try their best to avoid the new tariffs that they see coming down from President Trump. So let's check this story out real quick. And of course, we're going to Automotive News Europe this time, our favorite place for automotive news. Volkswagen Group could build Audi, Porsche models in U.S. to avoid tariffs, paper says. And this is by Staff and Wires report from January 29th. Volkswagen Group is considering building cars from its Audi and Porsche brands in the U.S. if President Donald Trump imposes high tariffs on their car exports from Europe and Mexico, a German business paper said. The two luxury brands were seen as particularly exposed to any new U.S. trade barriers because, unlike the core Volkswagen brand, they currently do not produce in the U.S., Hansblatt said. Volkswagen's plant in Chattanooga could be expanded to build Audi and Porsche models, Hansblatt reported, citing several company sources. Volkswagen's new plant for its Scout brand in South Carolina is another option for Audi production, the paper said. Audi builds the Q5 SUV, one of its top sellers in San Jose, Chiapa, Mexico, and exports it to the U.S. Other Audi models sold in the U.S. are imported from Europe. All Porsches sold in the U.S. are built in Europe. The Chattanooga plant, which builds the combustion engine Volkswagen Atlas and Volkswagen ID4 EV, has excess capacity and plenty of room for expansion, Hansblatt said. Volkswagen Group could see profits dented by between 5 and 10% by a U.S. tariff of 10% on European imports and by 15% from a 25% tariff on imports from Mexico, rating agency Moody's said. All right, so quick story. Just wanted to jump in and out of there. So, a couple great things about this story. So we're going to first be like, yes, President Trump is doing it. He is getting these companies to bring their businesses back over to the U.S., their plants back into the U.S., their opportunities for people to have jobs building these vehicles back to the U.S. That is a fantastic thing, and that's exactly what we wanted. That's all we really wanted. And it's just a start, and we hope more and more of this happens. Now, we know for a fact that the plant for Volkswagen Audi closed over in Brussels, so there's a lot of opportunity there. A lot of opportunity to build new plants here, a lot of opportunity for jobs for people around the world here in the U.S. building these Audi vehicles. So this is a fantastic story. This is great news for us. This proves that the presidency, or getting Donald Trump to be president, has proven to be very good for the automotive industry. So we're going to stick with it, and we're going to be happy about it because this proves that the moves that he's made, and of course it's on the back of a lot of loss, and that's what he's trying to prevent here in the U.S. as well as around the world when it comes to U.S. automakers. But this proves that his plan for the U.S. and U.S. automakers and for other automakers that are not here in the U.S. to bring factories here to the U.S. so the U.S. people can make money building these vehicles is starting to work. So shout out to President Trump on this one. This is great stuff. We really like this. This is great for us. We have to spend a lot of time building back our automotive industry here on U.S. soil. With all the jobs that we've lost, the thousands and thousands of automaker jobs at the factories that we've lost. So this is great. This is fantastic. We love it. We applaud it. And we hope that more of it happens soon. Okay? So let's keep it moving. This is about Stellantis. Quick story about Stellantis. So, Stellantis sets March return to office deadline for workers at North America HQ. This is by Vince Bond Jr. It's from today, January 29th. Stellantis told employees at its North America headquarters in suburban Detroit that they must return to the office at least 3 days a week beginning March 3rd. The automaker said in a January 29th email to employees that it needs a more consistent presence in the office to build stronger connections, unify our teams, and achieve our objectives. During a pivotal year, Stellantis is searching for a new CEO working to recover lost market share and mending fences with its dealers and unions. The email said employees will work at the office in Auburn Hills, Michigan 3 to 5 days a week, a schedule that some employees began following last year. As we accelerate our transformation, we recognize the value of consistent on-site presence and see it as a key enabler to win in the marketplace, Stellantis said in a statement. Many of our teams are already working on-site 3 to 5 days a week as we maintain a flexible work environment. Today's announcement is confirmation that bringing teams together to build strong connections is a competitive necessity. Stellantis told workers that the email was meant to give them notice to start planning their schedules. Leaders will work with their teams to find the best on-site cadence while maintaining flexibility, the message said. The company, which is being run by an interim executive committee as it seeks a successor to Carlos Tavares, who resigned in December, said it's committed to supporting workers through this transaction. Bloomberg reported in October that the company was reversing a policy that allowed employees to work remotely a majority of the time. Some Stellantis departments began a gradual move back to office in early 2024. All right, so another quick story. Just wanted to get that out there. So the importance of that story, of course, is that we are really starting our fast track move away from the COVID days and getting people back into the office. And this is important for a lot of reasons, specifically for the automotive industry. This is important for the people who gave up driving because they were working at home. The people who didn't have to commute, the buses that weren't being used because people working from home. So this is going to definitely bolster the automotive industry when it comes to people needing rides to work, people needing cars to buy, using EV stations if you got an EV vehicle, gas, people buying more gas because they're driving more. It's all inclusive, specifically, to the point where, commerce, around the world, commerce stopped with the work at home stuff. It was really bad for the mom and pop shops, for grocery stores, for corner stores, for restaurants where people ate at for lunch. It was really bad for commerce altogether. So the fact that I'm not sure if it was more a Trump thing or just a more gradual thing that people getting away from the COVID situation and the fact that we noticed all of the losses that happened because of COVID and all the losses that we've had because people were working from home. I think those realizations is what really set this come back into the office situation to occur, and it's positive. It's a necessity as well because we lost so much market share, so much commerce, so much business for people who relied on people being out on the road, people being out for lunch, being at work, needing lunch because they're at work and they're not at home. All these businesses took a major loss when the majority of the world went from work at home. So it is really, I think it's truly a necessity for us to get back to a situation where it was less work at home. I'm not saying get rid of work at home at all. There's definitely a need for it for certain situations, mothers or, disability situations. I understand that there's definitely a need for work at home, and there's definitely going to continue to be work at home. But if there's any desire from these companies to unify, like this article said, these people or haven't been working together. So it's been a lot of misconstruing because they're communicating on Zoom or situations like that. So getting back to a more concrete work environment where you're talking to them directly and you're working with people directly, I just think it's a better thing. I think it's a good thing. Okay, so last but not least, this is going to be a quick show. Last but not least, we're going to talk about a purchase of a Chevy Corvette. So first we're going to watch the purchase itself, and then we're going to read the article, and we're going to talk about it for a little bit.
Heard some of the specs. That flat plane crank V8 given the twin turbo treatment to 1,000 horsepower. Now we're at $3 million. The aerodynamics, the big difference on the ZR1 versus the Z06, and you can see air's fed in here and then out through the top of the hood where the front would have been for more downforce to keep it planted for those 200 plus
beautiful car. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Wider body, and then $3.1 million. You can see the return of the split window with the treatment of the carbon fiber out the back. The massive wing. Wow, what a machine.
Now cheering them on, NASCAR Hall of Famers Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon. I believe that's Jeff's son Leo with them. Road racer Boris said, who's going to win it? Rick Hendrick will write a check for $3.7 million to the American Red Cross.
All right, so this is why I wanted to watch this. He's writing a check to the American Red Cross. So this is a charity event, okay? So that's extremely important for what we're talking about here. So I want you to really listen to what they're saying. They're going to talk about all the money he spent with charities and at these auctions or whatever. And we're going to go over it here in a second.
To take home VIN 001 of this Corvette CR1.
A lot of great charity cars, but you have bought 38 charity cars for over 25 million, now I guess 29 million almost. And you've helped us with so many great charities over the years. Your generosity has helped millions. Thank you, Mr. H. Give him a hand.
Rick Hendrick, Hall of Fame NASCAR team owner, car dealer, and great humanitarian, scores at Barrett Jackson.
All right, so good stuff. So that's and it originally when I saw this article, I've seen this a while back anyway. My thought was, why? Why would anybody spend 3.7? Why would you spend that much money on a car? With so much poverty and things going on in the world that you could spend your money on, investments that you could make, why would you do that? But of course, you have to think about it. If you are a millionaire like Rick Hendricks and you have money to spare, and the truth is that he's not really spending this money. I mean, he's spending on a charity, which means it's tax deductible, which means he could get $3.7 million back depending on how he purchases the car, which means that the $25 million that he spent on all them nice cars that they were talking about that he owns now, he probably got all that money back. It's just how the rich move that you really have to understand and get into your head if you desire to be rich like that, because the first thing you see is that this man spent $3.7 million on a Corvette. But then if you dive a little deeper, you realize that he spent it to a charity, tax deductible. He can get that money back. Let's read the story real quick from Automotive News. A little bit more information about this that I want to share with y'all. So let's read the story. I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. Kind of hot here. All right, Rick Hendricks pays $3.7 million to put first ZR1 in his Corvette collection. Hope he don't live in LA. Mega dealer Rick Hendrick has another first of its kind Corvette, and the American Red Cross has an extra $3.7 million to help hurricane and wildfire victims. The founder of Hendrick Automotive and Hendrick Motorsports was the winning bidder for the first production model of the 2025 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 at a January 25th charity auction in Scottsdale, Arizona. Since Chevy introduced the 8th generation Corvette in 2019, Hendrick has now paid a total of $12.5 million for the first E-Ray, the first C8 C06 Coupe and convertible, and the first C8 Stingray. He also has more than 120 other Corvettes in his collection. The 1,049 horsepower ZR1, which starts at $174,995, is the fastest production Corvette ever with a top speed of 233 miles per hour. Chevrolet donated Hendricks' full $3.7 million payment, which tied his own record for a Barrett-Jackson vehicle auction from 2022 to the Red Cross for disaster relief aid. General Motors has shared some of our biggest and most memorable moments when we have raised money together for charity on the Barrett-Jackson auction block. Barrett-Jackson CEO Craig Jackson said in a statement, "We made history by selling this rare collector vehicle for $33.7 million while also helping the Red Cross fulfill its mission to feed and provide emotional support to victims of disasters. Between the recent hurricane on the East Coast and fires in California, the money is certainly needed." Hendricks told the Detroit Free Press after the auction that he's been seeing firsthand the damage done by Hurricane Helene in western North Carolina last fall and wanted to help his home state recover. "People are cold, sleeping in tents and orphanages with nowhere to store food," Hendricks said. "It breaks my heart. God has blessed me." Okay. All right. So, this is good, and I'm going to say bad to me from this last statement, okay? Because my first thought is going to be that it's a slick move by this man, slick move to purchase this Corvette for $3.7 million, pay it to a charity that is supposed to help his home state and other states, California, every place that Helene hit. And in actuality, if you really think about it, did he though? Because if my first thought would be like, if he really wanted to help his home state, then, you know, provide that $3.7 million directly to his home state so they can use it as they see fit, you know, to help all these people who are cold and sleeping outside and whatnot. But what he did was wait till a couple of days ago, because Helene happened a long time ago. It was a couple months ago, I'm sure. Helene happened a long time ago. So he waited till a couple of days ago to spend $3.7 million to buy a car that he's going to put in his collection. So he's going to enjoy the ownership of this beautiful car. He's going to technically help these people by giving money to the Red Cross. And we already know how weird or not for sure how these people are going to spread the money around to help these people is. And at the end, he's going to get all this money back. Oh, man, I was about to praise this dude up and down, and now I am kind of questioning it. But let's face it, I mean, this is how the rich move. And this, you can't say it's dumb. I mean, look at it. He is getting a car that he wants. He is giving to a charity that he wants to give to. And in the end, he gonna get his money back. Man, what a world we live in. See, I mean, I'm still gonna praise the man because his money is going to charity, and he spent all this money on all these cars that he owns now, that he's going to get to enjoy one way or the other. I don't know, man. I was about to praise the junk out of this man, but now I'm kind of thinking about it, and it's just my whole thing is that why didn't he just, I mean, let's hope, because I really don't know. Let's hope that this is on top of some support that he's already given his home state. Let's hope that. Let's leave this show with a positive spin and say, hey, Rick Hendricks, he probably, as rich as he is and as much money as he has, probably already gave those people over in his home state some money to help. And this is just a cherry on top that he himself is going to get to enjoy, and in the end, not have to really pay nothing for. It is beautiful and wonderful to be fantastically rich, my friends. So, I'm going to let y'all get out of here because me, myself, I got to continue to working hard to get rich like this. And you do too. So, I'm Chris Surratt. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Car Concierge Show. Please like, share, subscribe. Hit me in the DMs if there's any questions. If you have any car questions. If you have any ideas for the show, I'm open. And I'm out. Peace.